Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video, I will show you how to use the contact access picker iOS 18 feature in React Native's new architecture for iOS. So let's get started. So first I'll show you guys the demo. So here I have the app running on iOS 18 simulator. I'll click on this plus button which is at the top. As soon as I click on it, it will display this particular thing. So I'll just select this particular contact. I'll click on done. Okay, now I think it will, yeah, it is asking me for the contacts permission. I'll give it, and it is again showing me this. I don't know why it shows twice, but I'll just click on select contacts, and again I'll just select this one and this one. Okay, these two contacts, and I'll click on continue. I'll click allow selected contacts. Again, now I know there is only one selected contact we selected to. I think this is an iOS 18 simulator bug. I can't really test it on a real device because I have an iPad real device which does not have the contacts app. So that's why I think this is a simulator bug, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now here you can see both are automatically selected. Now I will select Anna as well. I'll click on done. Okay, here you can see Anna was showing properly. I don't know why Kate is not showing still. So what I will do, again, this is just a simulator bug according. I'll just deselect it and I'll click on done. Okay, now again I'll just select this. I'll click on Kate Bell. I'll done, and here you can see now Kate Bell is displayed properly. So this is definitely a simulator bug or an iOS 18 bug. So yeah, I don't know what is happening over here, but if I want to deselect it as well, I can deselect it. So I don't want John Appleseed anymore. I'll click on done, and that is removed. Now the entire UI which you see in is made using Swift UI, and I will tell you the reason for it. The contact access picker is part of a list which is part of Swift UI. It is possible to make it somehow work with React Native flat list, but it would be extremely complicated. I don't want to go into that. So the entire UI which you see is made using Swift UI, and yeah, I have just we are just bridging that particular component inside React Native. So I want to make that very clear at the start. There is very less React Native code, and we will be using this Fabric Native components to create this Swift UI component. Also, one more thing, the contact which you see are not persisted. They are stored in a local variable like an array. If you want, you can persist it locally, because once you reload the app, the contacts will get lost. So be careful of that. So yeah, I want to make that very clear. Again, I am not doing the persisting part. Again, that will extremely complicate this tutorial, but if you want a separate tutorial on that, do let me know in the comments. So let's get started. First, you will have to come to this documentation, then you have to run this particular command. Now here you don't need to run this particular thing. So yeah, like you can ignore this. We want the pods. Okay, we want Cocoa pods installed, so you can ignore this dash dash install dash pods false. You can just run till here. Okay, and you can, instead of demo, you can write your own project name. I have given my project name as RN app. You can give it whatever name you feel like. Now here they have given an example of web view component. Ours will be different. We'll have to make use of Objective-C, we'll have to make use of Swift with UIKit, and we'll also have to make use of Swift with Swift UI. So if in case if you don't know what Swift UI is, it's basically a declarative UI paradigm for iOS. So first, as you can see, they are telling us to run this particular command. We don't need to run this command. We will just create this specs folder manually. This is not an Android specific tutorial because contact access picker is an iOS 18 feature, so we don't need to do all this stuff. So all you need to do, just go to your React Native project, and here you just have to create a folder with the name specs. So here you can see I have created a folder specs. That's all we need to do. Then inside that we have to create a TypeScript file. So we have to give this TypeScript file name. So I have given it a name as my contact access native component.ts. Now whatever name you give, at the very end you have to give native component.ts. That is very important. If you are creating a Fabric component for the very first time, it's better you follow what name I have given, because this name is also very important. It will be used in lot other places. Now for regarding this particular code, I have just copied it from this particular documentation. Only thing is I have removed this particular event. I have removed the source URL because we are not passing any prop. We don't require any event, so I have removed this particular part as well, and I have removed this particular import as well, and I have just changed the name of this particular class. Okay, we are not using web view. For us it is my contact access picker, right? So if you see my code, that's what I have done. I have copied these two imports as well as this native props interface as well. Then here I'm just doing custom my contact access. So yeah, this name needs to be changed, that's it. Then you will have to go to package.json. If you see the documentation again, they say that here we just have to add this code gen config. So again, I have just copy pasted this code gen config from the documentation over to our project, but again you will have to change few things. So first one is this my contact access package name. This is Android, so we don't have to worry too much about it. And then here also you will have to change the name custom my contact access, and this particular thing RCT my contact access. So you'll have to change this name. Then make sure you go to your React Native project and run npm install, because we have changed package.json, so we have to do that particular thing. I have already done it, so I won't do it again. Then if you see the documentation, we have to go to the iOS part. We have to cd first to the iOS folder, so that's what I will do over here. So I will just paste it over here. Then we have to run this particular command bundle install. So I'll just copy this and paste it over here. So again, I have already run this command, so I won't run it again. And then we have to run bundle exec pod install as well. So again, I'll just copy this command and paste it over here. So yeah, this will do code generation for iOS. So yeah, this will take a little bit of time, so be patient. Then again, I can just do cd dot dot move back to our React Native project. Then if you see, the tell us to open the XC workspace. We can do this manually, you don't need to write the command. So just go to your React Native project, go to the iOS folder and double click on this .xc workspace. I have already opened it inside Xcode. Okay, so here it is. So first thing as okay, so once that is done, again I'll come back to our documentation, and here you can see it is telling us to create a new group called web view. In our case it will be my contact access. So all you have to do is just go to your project to click on the top. As you can see, I've already created that group, but for you will have to click on your project, right click, and here you will have to select new group and give the name as my contact access. So I've already created it, so I will just delete the new one. Then you will have to go to your project. Okay, then go to general section, and inside minimum deployment I will just change the target to 18.0 over here as well as 18.0 over here. Okay, make sure you change this because this is only available from iOS 18 and above. Then inside your project, inside the info.plist file, make sure you right click on it, open as source code. Okay, scroll down at the bottom of the file and make sure you add this key as well as this string as well. You can do this via VS Code as well if you are comfortable, but I'm just showing it to you in Xcode. Here you will have to write the actual name. Now the next thing which we are going to do, make sure you do not use VS Code for this. Make sure you use Xcode only. So first thing, you will have to go to your my contact access folder, right click on it, new file from template. Do not select the new empty file option, you have to select new file from template only. Select your Objective-C file, click next, give name as RCT my contact access. Okay, and here even if you don't specify the extension, that's fine. Then click again next. I have already created this file, so I won't create it again. Make sure this checkbox is checked off target, and then click on create. As soon as you click on create, Xcode will ask, do you want to create a bridging header? Click yes, and you will see this particular file being created as well as this particular file being created. Inside your bridging header file, you will have to add this particular import. Now this particular import is only necessary if you are using React Native 77 and above. I am using React Native 77, which is the latest version at the time of me recording this video. Again, there could be future changes as well in future version of React, but hopefully there should not be any. But the reason we have to add this particular thing is because from React Native 77 the entire iOS part is in Swift. They no longer use Objective-C, but internally they use it Objective-C, but the default project is created in Swift. That's why we still have to use Objective-C for bridging all this stuff. So make sure you add this particular bit of code. Then again you have to right click, new file from template, select header file, click next, and now you can give it again the same name, RCT my contact access. Again, make sure the case sensitivity is correct, whatever you have given it inside your TypeScript file, and RCT should be at the start. Then click on create. Okay, once that is done, also inside your Objective-C you will have to click on it, click enter on it, and make sure you change the extension manually to .mm, which is Objective-C++. Okay, then we need to create these two Swift files, my Swift UI view as well as Swift UI view. So again, just right click, new file from template, Swift file, click next. First, give name as my Swift UI view and click on create. Then do the same thing and just create one more Swift file with name Swift UI view. Okay, so yeah, once that is done, come back to our header file, and now this I have copied it from the documentation. Only thing which I have changed is this particular name over here, rest everything remains the same. Then I have created this Objective-C file, so we'll come over here. So this I have added it from my own. This should be your header file name. This should be your bridging header name. So here you can see my bridging header name is rnapp, so make sure you use your own bridging header name. Dash swift.h will be common for everyone. Again, this I have copied it from the documentation. This is copied from documentation, this is copied from documentation, only this name has been changed, and here this name has been changed. Okay, then this has been also copied from documentation, only this name has been changed. Sorry, this particular part has been written by me. So here I'm taking a UI view. This is our Swift UI view file, which I will show you shortly. And inside the init method, we are initializing our Swift UI view and adding it as a sub view. Then here we just override this layout subview and set the frame for our Swift UI view. This I have copied it from documentation, only this particular name has been changed. This also has been copied from documentation, only this name and this name has been changed. Okay, then you will have to come to my Swift UI view file, and here you have to first annotate it with @objc member, so that our Swift code can be accessible from Objective-C. Make sure you import UIKit as well as Swift UI as well. Now React Native does not allow us to directly embed Swift UI view. We have to go through the UIKit route. So here inside init, we first get hold of our root view controller. Then here we create object for our Swift UI file, which I will show you code shortly. Then here we get hold of that particular view. Then translate auto resizing is false. Then here we just add root view controller dot add child vc, then add a sub view as Swift UI view, and here we set ns layout constraints as well, and we just do vc dot did move to parent root view controller. Then here we just do required init as well. So yeah, that's all there is to it. So this is like boilerplate code. Then you will have to come to the Swift UI view file. Again, here we have to import Swift UI contacts and contacts UI, and here as you can see I have created this variable. This variable will get lost every time you reload your app or reopen your app, so it's better you should store all the selected contacts inside Swift data, core data, or send it back to React Native side and use a third-party library like Watermelon DB or SQLite to store that particular data. Then here inside body sum view I have taken a navigation stack. Here I have taken a list. Here we pass all our contacts, and whatever contact we have selected, we just say hello to whatever is the contact dot given name. Now you might be interested in the phone number of the contact or some other contact details. So what you can do is, I will just do contact dot. Let's just wait for Xcode to catch up. Okay, here you can see there are all these parameters: id, contact relation, date, department name, email address, family name, given name, identifier, nickname, I think there is phone number as well, which here you can see phone number as well. So you can use all of these fields. I'll just move it back to contact dot given name, but you can feel free to use whatever makes sense in your application. And here we have created that button which you are seeing at the top, and on click of the button we just toggle this boolean variable. Once this boolean variable is true, we display this contact access picker, and here you can see it is a property of list, so it's very difficult to make it work with flat list. Then we just fetch all the contacts. So here inside fetch contacts, we just create a task. We map over all the existing contacts. Then we create all the identifiers by mapping existing identifiers plus new identifiers, which we have over here. And then we create keys out of it. Then we create a fetch request. We set the predicate for our fetch request. Then we create an dummy array. Then we just do cn contact store dot enumerate contacts, passing our fetch request to it, and then we just do new contacts dot append, pass our contact to it, and whatever we get here, instead of appending to this variable, you should save it to some persistent data like Swift data or core data, or send it back to React Native side. So I'll leave that up to you, but yeah, just for simplicity I have taken this variable. So yeah, now coming back, so let me just see now. So I have already shown you this Here they have not given example of Swift, but I have shown you Swift example as well. Now coming back to the usage part, you can just go to app.tsx, and here you can import it like this. And here I have this my contact access. I'm directly using it, and here I have just defined a style, width 100%, height 100%. So yeah, that's it. That's how simple it is. Thank you for watching. Bye.